This is a video I honestly didn't think I'd be making, but after the kerfuffle that was Twitter and Reddit over these past couple weeks, everything we thought we knew was upended. And before you ask, no, this isn't clickbait. In fact, we're actually kind of late to this story, but I wanted to make a video about it anyways to let those of you who don't know in on the fact that yes, Scott Cawthon actually retired from FNAF, as well as game making in general. This all started a couple weeks ago as of filming. On Twitter, it was revealed that Scott Cawthon had donated to multiple Republican candidates, including Donald Trump's re-election campaign. This sent Twitter into a fit, even though it is his right to vote for whomever he believes is the right candidate and donate to who he wants. The issue from what I was seeing was that a lot of these candidates have anti-LGBTQ+ views, and some actively fight against LGBTQ+ rights. And a good chunk of the FNAF community does identify as something other than straight and or were born in the wrong body. So it's understandable why they would feel hurt that Scott, someone they looked up to and trusted, would donate to these candidates. Now, just disclaimer, by no means do I truly understand these individuals, so if I say something wrong or I misinterpret something, I'm really sorry. This anger and hate ended up resulting in many things that are never okay, which Scott talked about in a Reddit post just over a week ago at the time of filming, saying, quote, "I'd like to think that the last 7 years would have given me the benefit of the doubt in regards to how I treat people. But there I was, trending on Twitter for being a homophobe, getting doxxed, with people threatening to come to my house. My wife is 6 weeks pregnant and she spent the last night in fear because of what was being said online. She has already been struggling with her pregnancy, so seeing her afraid really scared me. And while disagreeing with his political views or how he spends his money is fine, doxing and threatening people is never okay. I receive a good amount of hateful comments and messages. God knows I have. That's unfortunately a part of the job and being on the internet. But getting doxed and having people threaten to come to your house is absolutely vile no matter who you are or who they are. And no, it's not consequences. Okay, that's not consequences. Scott then went on to talk about other candidates he supported that weren't showcased and were Democrat, and ended the Reddit post with, quote, "If I get cancelled, I get cancelled. I don't do this for the money anymore. I do it because I enjoy it. If people think I'm doing more harm than good now, then maybe it's better that I get cancelled and retire. I would accept that. I've had a fulfilling career. Besides, most things that people can take away from you are things that never had much value to begin with. I've always loved and will continue to love this community and this fan base, even if someday it doesn't include me anymore." However, getting cancelled seemed to be the least of everyone's worry when a few days later, Scott changed the image on scottgames.com from the typical black screen to a retirement message, saying, quote, "Here on the 7th anniversary of the first game's trailer, as I realized that I was in my mid-30s when I created the series and now I'm approaching my mid-40s, I realized that I miss a lot of things that I got to focus on before FNAF became such a success. I miss making games for my kids, I miss doing it just for fun, and I miss making RPGs, even though I stink at it. All of this to say that I'm retiring. I have been shown tremendous love and support over this last week, a lot of which has come from the LGBTQ community. The kindness and support shown to me has been surreal, which is upsetting to a load of kids who have said that Scott gave them a childhood, and in fact he did. He brought a community together with theories and mysteries alike. With the help of Matt, Pat, Markiplier, and Daco, the game grew bigger than he had ever imagined, and FNAF videos have helped this channel grow as well. But this begs the question, is this the end of Five Nights at Freddy's? Well, Scott answered that question himself in that same retirement announcement. Quote, "Is this the end of FNAF? No. This just means that someone else will eventually be running the show. Someone of my choosing and someone that I trust. We will have to wait and see how it all plays out, but an announcement will be made at some point. So, no. FNAF is not over despite Scott's retirement, and Security Breach is not cancelled, despite what might be being said online. Scott also said that he wanted to focus on his 6 kids now, one of them being the size of a blueberry, and asks that we, the fanbase, respect his decision. And from the amount of #ThankYouScott that I saw when researching this video, I think it's safe to say that at least for now, they are. We absolutely do, and I wanted to say thank you, Scott, for building a community that inspired others to create games, for funding those games with the Fazbear Fanverse initiative, for making an incredibly interesting series and story, and for, by making this series, helping this channel grow as well. So there we have it, friends. Scott Cawthon actually retired from Five Nights at Freddy's. That's nuts to say the least, and something that I wasn't expecting. And of course, he had to do it when I was on break because of E3. Come on, man. Like, you had to get one last hit in there, didn't you? Huh? Yeah, thanks. How do you feel about Scott retiring, and what's your best memory with FNAF? Let me know down below. Before we end it, however, I'm going to respond to some comments from the top 10 scary FNAF Ballora alternate versions video. Rafael Salazar said, Scott Cawthon will always be in our hearts. Yes, exactly. FNAF has become more than just a game at this point, and even though someone else will be taking over, the legacy will live on and we'll keep thinking about Scott, and I'm sure that I will keep cursing him for making the lore so complicated, and not whoever takes over, because let's be honest, it's still Scott's fault. Tushiro and Lucas said, seeing a legend retire is beautiful. I hope his creation will be remembered. I'm sure it will, especially not for now since it's not ending, but I know for a fact that my father doesn't shut up about what he was doing when he was a kid, so when the FNAF generation becomes parents, they'll be telling their kids the tale of Five Nights at Freddy's, and probably use it as a way to get out of going to Chuck E. Cheese, or as a way to be excited about going to Chuck E. Cheese, depending on like the person, if Chuck E. Cheese is still around at that point at least. But like I've said before, the Fazbear Frights books are also really the Goosebumps of this generation, so I'm sure that they will be remembered. I still remember Goosebumps now. Some people have only read the books and haven't played the games, I'm sure, so yeah. Rocketman 1000 TT said, her scythe is actually a cane if you really think about it. In sister location, Ballora can't walk and has to crawl in order for her to move around. I mean, like, I get that, and you're probably right, but she is able to stand on stage, which wouldn't make sense if she could walk. Plus, you don't need to make your cane a goddamn scythe. Are you kidding me? Sure, people have some weird canes, okay? Ones with swords in them, some with wands in them, trying to mimic Lucius Malfoy. But using a straight up scythe as a cane it's a little ostentatious, don't you think? Like, even death is like, it's a little much. Like, Satan is like, no, dude, why did you do that? That's wrong. Like, and God, oh man, God is like, I invented this thing so that the death can reap souls, and you're using it to help yourself walk. Just accept death. Macros Acceleron Hot Wheels said, I'm gonna have a shower of holy water after this because Jesus Christ, I'm not going to sleep today. I don't know if this is because you're scared of the animatronics in that video, or because you like these versions of Ballora a little too much. Look, they're meant to be scary, okay? But there are a select few members of the community who find that attractive, okay? Like, I'm not kink shaming or anything. I'm just saying that I don't agree with that outlook on these animatronics, because just don't. That's all the time we have for comments today. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. And happy retirement, Scott.